It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Sorry, Michael C. Hall, but I just assume when you show up, it's going to get bad.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's going to get dark. I shouldn't say bad. It's going to get intense.
Yeah, because it's good.
No, he's great, is what I'm saying. Actually, that's a good performance, Michael C. Hall. You showed up, and immediately I thought, whoa, oh no.
Oh no, shit's getting real.
Yeah. Welcome to the Rom-Com Rewind Podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Devin.
And like you, I love rewatching movies over and over again.
And you're here, that means you love romantic comedies. Perfect, we do as well.
So this is a show where we rewatch rom-coms, break them down a bit for you, maybe take a peek behind the curtain, dig beneath the surface, and decide, does it still hold up?
Today we have
Game Night,
directed by John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein. This came out in 2018. To commercial and critical success, a lot of people loved it. It grossed $117 million worldwide. Big ups to them. Certified fresh, 85% on Rotten Tomatoes. I find often romantic comedies get slammed by critics just because they are, they're rom-coms. But this had a lot of fresh takes and ideas that I think likely gave it an edge, because Game Night is the story about Max, played by Jason Bateman. And it's the story of Annie, played by Rachel McAdams. Those are our two stars. They are two super competitive individuals. They meet in a in the throes of an epic trivia night battle.
We're down to two teams, so for double points, what is the name of the purple Teletubby?
Tinky Winky.
You're both correct.
He always carried a
red purse.
They fall in love, and from there they proceed to live a life of annihilating their friends and loved ones at various board games, risk, charades, etc.
Max is very competitive, as am I. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with him.
Oh, it's easy. He was an Incredible Hulk.
Eric Bana.
Other one.
Mark Ruffalo.
Other one.
Lou Ferrigno.
Primal Fear.
Richard Gere never played the Incredible Hulk.
Time. Jesus Christ. Ed Norton.
Oh, Primal Fear.
Until one day, Max's brother Brooks comes back into town. He's played by Kyle Chandler. Max's brother Brooks he's kind of a hotshot. He's a Wall Street something, we think. And he and Max have had a strong sibling rivalry all their lives. And then Brooks invites Max and his game night friends over for a little murder mystery party. And the catch is, spoiler alert, when robbers break into Brooks' house to kidnap him, everyone thinks it's part of the murder mystery game. So hilarious. When, in reality, Brooks is into some deep trouble with some kind of mob, a gang ring perhaps, and that kidnapping was likely real. So we have a romantic comedy murder mystery game night. What did you think about this movie?
Well, I don't think they're robbers. They're kidnappers.
They weren't
kidnappers. Robbing anything.
I say they were robbers?
They were robbing the person.
Yeah, so technically they robbed the household.
They were taking the entity. Like they were taking
They
the
still
owner.
robbed you of something. It just happened to be a human body.
I guess. I would call that a kidnapper. Anywho.
Okay, fair enough.
No, this movie's really fun. It keeps you on your toes throughout the entire thing. At first you think one thing is happening and then there's a curveball. And then you think you know what's happening again and then there's another curveball. I love Game Night. I love game nights in general and thought it was really cool to watch a movie that revolved around them.
Yeah, this is a fantastic first watch, and I think it's also a really strong second watch because there are a lot of twists. It's kind of like Knives Out in that like there's a twist and then there's another twist, and then I think this one actually has a third twist now that I think about it.
Yeah.
And that does kind of keep it fresh. Like I found the second time rewatching it, kind of knowing how it was going to go, I was still caught by a few things. You know when like, you know what the ending's going to be? So then you watch out for the twists as you go and you kind of notice a few more little things here and there. This movie is anchored by extremely strong performances from Rachel McAdams and Jason Bateman, and really just like a strong and diverse supporting cast.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I was going to say. It's a great cast. I love every single character in this movie. Very clever writing, again, to keep you on the edge of your seat the entire time. And it's overall very entertaining.
Yeah. And for what it is, like this is a very good movie. Like you said, it's a fresh idea, which I think helps it. And Rachel McAdams, like, not to take away from Jason Bateman, because they had a certain back and forth that was really, really special. So I don't want to take away from that.
Great chemistry.
Yeah, but with that said, I think she could do a movie in which the plot is that she falls in love with a toaster, and I think she could convince me, like, yeah, you know what, guys? I think Rachel McAdams actually does love that toaster. Like, look at the smile. How can you not believe her? She's just perfect in every way. Make more movies with Rachel.
I agree.
God.
I love Rachel McAdams. Yeah, she's fantastic in this movie. It is considerably dark, though, for what you think it's going to be about, game night. But there is a lot of light comedic relief throughout the movie. You think, oh, awesome, a movie about games. No, it's not only about that. It is so much more.
There's... You know what? I agree with you. I mean, it is very light and comedic. And I would disagree with you on the dark part of things until I remembered, spoiler alert, there's a guy who gets sucked into a airplane turbine. So
yes.
That's
Is that the point at which you thought, oh, this is a dark movie?
Straight up. Yeah, actually no.
There are a few things that happened before that.
Really?
He gets shot in the arm.
Oh, that's not dark. You know what? The moment when I thought this could be a dark movie is when the dude from Dexter shows up. That guy is never in a nice thing ever.
No,
anytime he shows up, you think, it's about to get crazy. The guy from Dexter is here.
You know, when I thought it, I was like, oh, this isn't a movie that's like messing around, is when they do actually, in fact, kidnap Brooks, and it is a real kidnapping because the music that's playing is darker. Everyone's sitting watching him, and I get into this more, but
that's when you thought I thought that was so funny. It
was funny. It was great, but at the same time, you were like, like they're really like smashing glasses on each other, and like they're really like, I don't know. It was like it wasn't super light and fun and happy. So the opposite of that is dark.
I'm quickly going through Michael C. Hall's IMDb from Dexter. I don't think he's played the good guy in anything.
Did you ever watch Dexter?
A little bit.
Okay, I was a Dexter fan. I enjoyed watching Dexter, but I think I got to season 4 or 5, and then it went downhill, so I stopped watching. So I never actually ended up finishing it.
Sorry, Michael C. Hall, but I just assume when you show up, it's going to get bad.
It's dark.
Yeah, it's going to get dark. I shouldn't say bad. It's going to get intense.
Yeah, because it's good.
No, he's great, is what I'm saying. Actually, that's a good performance, Michael C. Hall. You showed up, and immediately I thought, whoa, oh no.
Oh no, she's getting real.
So we have the opening sprawl where we're introduced to these characters in perfection, I think, because we start at a trivia night. Max is crushing the questions. Annie is so pissed at her teammate for kind of sucking. And then Annie and Max kind of have like a duel off, and they meet.
To 2 teams. So for double points, what is the name of the purple Teletubby?
Tinky Winky.
And love kind of blossoms from this mutual competitiveness, I
absolutely.
guess. It's strange, but cute.
I appreciate that.
It's different. And then we have a scene montage of their thriving relationship over the years. They play Risk against 2 other friends and kind of combine forces to defeat them, that's illegal, by the way. In Risk, you never make alliances. Friendships have ended over this.
I've actually never played Risk.
What?
My dad used to play Risk when we were kids, and
It is a dad game.
I don't know if we were not allowed to play because we always ended up playing Monopoly, and he would always win. But I never got to play Risk, and I don't know why. I mean, the board would sit there for days because they hadn't finished playing.
Wait, who's playing Risk with your dad?
I don't remember. Himself? I don't know.
He's playing.
No, he wasn't playing with himself. Like he wasn't playing by himself, but.
Oh man, that's hilarious. But I found this montage really catches the audience up for, okay, Max and Annie, they're very competitive. They meet, they fall in love, they get married, but they never lose that kind of fire. That when we do charades, it's scorched earth. We're owning people here.
Of course.
Yeah.
I would expect nothing less. I think Annie and I have a few things in common in ways in which we are similar. Competitive.
I've got a few notes on that, actually.
Oh. Okay.
Well, see, I think
Spill.
you're different. Like Sarah is both of these characters, Max and Annie.
Oh,
because
alright.
you are extremely competitive, like you
Yes.
said. But there's a
I think I find a time to be competitive and not to be competitive, and then every now and then it sneaks out. You know.
No. Here's
Oh.
the thing, okay?
Okay.
If we're doing the Marvel universe,
Mm-hmm.
they love playing games against each other, and they love kind of flexing that competitive muscle, whereas you don't. It's like they're Iron Man and Thor, and you're the Hulk. Okay, they're like, yeah, we're gonna save the world, and you're like, ooh, I don't know if I should, guys. It gets really intense when I do.
Well, at least I know. Like at least I know that
My
when
competitive power is
when
too
it
much.
comes out, it is hard to stop.
You are like scorched earth when it comes in. I've seen you in competitive moments. I'm like, oh shit.
Few and far between, though. You know, I've learned.
Well,
to
that's what I'm
really-
saying. You're the Hulk. You don't like to
yes,
show that off.
Yeah, that is true. That is a really weirdly good comparison.
Hey.
I mean,
Believe it or not, I know you pretty well.
it's probably good. Okay, so another similarity between Annie and I would definitely go for a step-by-step guide for taking a bullet out. Like I would.
Oh yeah,
that would
she
be the
Googled
first
how to
thing.
take the bullet out when.
That would be the first thing I would do. Is it's on Google. I need to Google it. I will find something, and it will be there, and I will be able to do it. Going from the trivia night where they met, this was before the pandemic. However, Devin and I and a group of friends were in a trivia night league every week on Tuesdays.
And Sarah was exactly like Rachel McAdams
at a local bar.
Annie in this. Actually, there was one night where
I
you
know,
did get intense.
I know.
That competitiveness came out.
Yes, and I did have to check myself.
I think we were joking about something. You're like, this is serious,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
And much like the guy in
It
this
was-
movie, we were like, it's trivia, Sarah.
Yeah, I know. It was because the week before we had actually won.
We were like, there were standings for this
Yeah,
trivia
there were
night, and we were
standings,
actually not doing bad.
We
and
were
I
doing
think
really good.
that's what caught Sarah. It's like,
yeah.
wow, we actually have a good team.
Yeah, never tell me where we are in standings.
Okay.
Because if we're like close to the top, I'll be like, oh my God, we can do it, guys. And then, yeah. Okay, so they play a whole bunch of games throughout the movie. They do DDR,
Yep.
Dance Dance Revolution at their wedding. They play Risk, Charades, Jenga. So what are your top 5 go-to favorite games?
Okay.
I mean, I have mine ready for you. So, Monopoly,
Beer pong,
Settlers of Catan,
flip cup,
Pictionary.
King's Cup.
I see a trend. Chameleon.
Actually, I just realized I don't know if I can say this one. Basic Bitches. Also called Tummies, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And euchre.
Speed pong?
Okay, so all of your games, your favorite games, they're not board games. Drinking games are not board games.
Did you say board games? They're on a table.
If you haven't played Chameleon, though, everyone, you should definitely play Chameleon. It is a lot of fun. We've had several good game nights playing Chameleon.
If you enjoy lying to your friends and
And if you're good at it,
right? If you're good with psychological warfare, manipulation, great game.
Which oddly enough, I am really good at this game, Chameleon.
Chameleon? No,
yes,
you're not.
yes. You
No,
and
you're
I, we
not.
always get caught being the liar, and I'm pretty good at it. I usually can't lie. It's like the one instance in which I can get away with it.
So it's like, okay, so here's how it works out. Sarah is extremely truthful, but she's more competitive. So the competition outweighs the truthfulness that she's like, I'll lie if I win
Yes.
this game.
Yeah, I
that
think
doesn't matter.
That has to be it.
Okay.
That has to be
Is
it.
that how it works
Yeah.
out? All right.
Yeah. Okay, it was so awkward when Gary just appears. He's always there.
Yeah.
He must have an alarm system set up, I am convinced, for when they're outside their house or when they come home or in the vicinity, like in the neighborhood. He's a bit of a creeper, like at the beginning of the movie, because you really don't know much about him. He sees the Tostitos, which, I mean, total product placement.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Yeah, I
That was
guess.
that was really well done. Low
yeah,
key.
I didn't even notice.
But Max says, it was 3-for-1 special for Tostitos and that they weren't having people over for game night. Gary seems totally okay with it, like in his silent nature. So bizarre, though.
Yeah, so Max and Annie are having a games night, but they
Yes.
don't want Gary to come.
Exactly.
Because he got weird since his wife. Actually, I think he was always weird, but his wife split with him, and now he's very weird.
Yes. And actually, I'll get into something later on in the podcast of who I think she ends up with.
Wait, who his wife
Yes.
ends up with?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I like it.
It's a good one. Anyway, back to my point, Tostitos. Because my point was really about the Tostitos.
Oh, you just wanted to get to the Tostitos.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
What's your favorite flavor?
Are there multiple flavors of Tostitos?
100% there are.
I'm not like a Tostitos guy.
What?
You know me, I'm a chocolate guy, baby.
Yeah, I know.
You
but
give me
okay.
chocolate.
Okay. there's-
Chips like Miss Vicky's is all I live for.
Yeah, fair enough. There's lime, there's jalapeno, there's regular scoops, there's multigrain, there's what else?
This is the
there's
most
regular-
lackluster flavors. Lime, whole grain, the scoops.
No, multigrain.
Multigrain. This is
think-
why
I
I don't consider Tostitos to have different flavors.
Okay, well, so I like the lime.
Okay.
There's
Good story.
There's even purple ones.
What do they taste like?
Not purple, not grape.
Okay.
Okay, so fine. All right. I have another question for you. Let's talk about the sports car. What was his car called again? Or what kind of car was it? What kind of car did
So it
Brooks
was
have?
okay. So the setup is that Max and Annie having game night.
Yeah.
And Max invited his brother Brooks,
Yes.
played by Kyle Chandler, I think.
Yep.
He rolls in with a Corvette Stingray fire engine red.
Okay, that's what it is. yeah.
Max's favorite vehicle. It's actually one of my favorite vehicles as well.
Okay.
Corvette Stingray. Love it. Because I find a lot of like old American muscle cars.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a box. It's like a rectangle. Because like they thought, hey, what's the biggest engine we can put in this? So let's just make it a box and put a big engine in it. So if you look at like old Challengers or old Chargers, they're all just like,
There's an old Charger?
yeah. Oh my God.
I thought
yeah.
there was like the now Charger and that was like an invention. Well, I don't know.
No, they brought the Charger back. This is what they do. They recycle things. But the Stingray is the first. That one is like, ooh, it's got curves, girl. Damn.
Okay. Yeah, I liked the look of that car.
Yeah. But that's what it is.
What's your dream car?
The dream car is the one that's in the friggin' garage that doesn't run, Sarah.
Oh, I don't know why you're yelling at me.
Because I'm angry about it. I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the situation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the one that's been sitting in our garage.
Oh, man.
Yes, what kind is that?
It's a 73 Triumph GT6
GT6. Okay, cool.
Mark III. They just
red.
kept
Cherry red.
Cherry red. It's also fire engine red. Yeah. I identify with Max in that moment, though. Like, that asshole bought your dream car.
Oh,
And
for sure.
I think everyone has had one of these moments, not quite in the same way, but like maybe it's the, you tell someone your favorite potential kid's name. And then that person steals it from you. They're like, oh, I heard you say that name, and it's a great name, so I named my kid that.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, that means you stole my baby name.
It happens all the time.
Happens all the time.
Totally.
So,
All my friends have baby names that they want, and they don't tell anybody.
So at this games night, Brooks tells this story of Marilyn Manson. Did you remember this story, right? There was the rumor that he had removed a number of his own ribs so that he could possibly pleasure himself.
Quick story.
There's no pausing.
You remember the urban myth where Marilyn Manson had the ribs taken out so he could go down on himself?
Yeah.
You don't mind me telling the story, do you, Max?
You're in the middle
You're
of it.
14 years old. It's an adorable story.
I forbid it.
I'm a little curious.
Did you blow yourself? You know the bungee cords on roof racks?
Yeah.
Max took one of those bungee cords and he put it around his neck.
Here he goes.
And then he wrapped it behind his legs so he could squish his face down into his crotch. But the problem was that it got stuck. He couldn't unhook it. And about an hour later, Mom comes home and she finds him there. Her little pretzel boy on his bedroom floor.
And that was one of those like myths, late 90s, early 2000s, that like inexplicably everyone had heard this story. But you look back and you realize, well, that's likely not true.
Yeah.
But like, how did we all collectively, like across North America, how did we all hear that story and also believe it? And what are the other weird myths from around that time? Because like I remember one vividly. The chick from Aqua, there was a rumor that she pinched her own vocal cords to make her voice like that, and she like permanently damaged them for her singing career so that she could get that like
the baby voice.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie
this
world.
is good. Keep going.
Live from plastic. Do you remember any others?
I mean, we had the big boob grab at the Super Bowl with JT and Janet Jackson.
Yeah, that wasn't really a myth, though. That actually
Oh,
happened.
no, that's true. No, but the myth is whether it was planned before or not.
Right, that's true, because there was a rumor that she told him to do it.
Yeah.
To be fair, in retrospect, I'm really going to get into this here, but like it was a bejeweled boob, right? It's not like we're seeing pure nipple.
Yeah, like it had to have been planned, because unless she has bejeweled boobs,
because
on
even
the
back
daily,
then,
that's a lot.
Even back then, I remember seeing it being like, is this a big deal? And then people are freaking out. I'm like, oh, I guess it's national TV, sure. Like hundreds of millions of people watch this show. And it's live, so that's probably an issue, but that's something that like might happen on stage at a performance. And nobody, dude, like watch a Cardi B show. It gets a lot more salacious than that.
Again, national television.
Right, you're right.
Yes. So Max and Annie have that games night. Then the following week, they all head to Brooks's house for games night, because Brooks says that he can do a better games night than Max and Annie. And Brooks grabs the board games that Max and Annie bring over and throws them on the floor. Everything going everywhere. Was your immediate reaction not to go and pick them all up?
Yeah, my immediate reaction was like, dude, I'd be pissed. Why did you just throw my shit on the ground?
Oh my God. My immediate reaction was to, yes, go and pick all of that up, because what a mess. And I don't want to lose any. Actually, no. It was, I don't want to lose any of the pieces. And then what a mess.
Right. And shout out to the, so the games night crew is Max, Annie, Rachel McAdams, and Jason Bateman. But we also have Lamorne Morris from New Girl. That's Kevin. We have Billy Magnuson, Ryan, Kylie Bunbury, Michelle, and we have Sharon Horgan, Sarah. A great supporting cast.
Absolutely.
So they're all at the games night with Brooks, Max, Annie.
So Brooks tells them that the game night isn't going to be some board game night.
Tonight, we're taking game night up a notch. We don't need a board, and we do not need pieces.
We won't need any extra rudeness either.
Someone in this room is going to be taken.
Oh, it's a murder mystery party.
Fun! Whoever finds the victim wins the grand prize, the keys to the Stingray.
Just the keys?
No, Ryan, the whole car.
It's going to be a murder mystery.
Yeah.
Someone is going to be kidnapped and taken hostage, and everyone has to solve the riddles to find the person who gets kidnapped. It so happens to be Brooks. Once Brooks is found, the winner gets his sports car. That's the prize for the night.
Yeah, and I think this is when the movie really starts humming.
Yeah.
Because Brooks is like, we're not going to do some dumbass board games. Murder mystery party. The actor he purchased to kidnap him.
It's not a joke. You people are in real danger and you're running out of time. And I, Agent Henderson, will not stand idly by while innocent civilians are slaughtered on my watch.
I told you he's going to be
So good.
But before we get started, I'm required to ask if any of you have any food allergies. Peanuts. Who the hell are you?
Now, wait a second. I know you're meth and all, but you can't just come in here and break the door.
Ends up getting attacked by, spoiler alert, real-life criminals who are there to kidnap Brooks because he's into some shady drug smuggling stuff. The fight sequence of them capturing Brooks.
It was really good.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because the contrast of everyone on the couch is just sitting there thinking, wow, this is such fantastic acting.
Very well done.
While Brooks is genuinely fighting for his life. He tried to stab these guys.
Yeah.
He smashes them with
a pan.
With a pan. Oh, yeah. One of them gets hit in the head with a pan.
You'd be knocked out.
I was going to say,
come on.
that's pretty close to concussion protocol
Absolutely.
there. The choreography in that fight, for a comedy movie, top notch.
Absolutely.
Big
it was
fan.
so good. I mean, I was thinking like he should have yelled help or something, but then again, I don't think anyone would have helped him because they all thought it was part of the game.
Right. Well, exactly. Yeah. A gun fell on the floor.
Yeah,
And
Annie picks it up.
Instead of thinking, whoa, that's a real gun, she's like, wow, interesting prop.
Yeah.
So everyone sets out to try and solve this murder mystery party thing and recover Brooks. Unknowingly, he's been kidnapped in real life. They don't know that. They all think this is still a game. So Annie and Max, they cheat. They grab Brooks' iPad and do the track my iPhone BS and just follow him to the bar the criminals are taking him. Meanwhile,
Genius.
Yeah, genius. Kevin and Michelle, they get to the first clue, but then get locked in a room in the house, and there's kind of a side story
Oh my God, yes.
of Michelle kind of admits that maybe she slept with a celebrity at one point.
Well, they were on a break.
Which, well, that's a big deal because they've been dating since high school. So when did you sleep with a celebrity kind of thing? It was during a break.
Yeah.
Big problems between Kevin and Michelle. Lots of fun.
Hilarious.
Then we have Ryan and Sarah. They decide, let's go to the people who put on the murder mystery party.
Smart.
The physical business location, a great idea.
Would you do that?
Yes. I think I would do it exactly the way they did it because I wouldn't cheat to get ahead until I see somebody significantly ahead of me. And seeing Annie and Max leaving the premises, I'd think, okay, well now let's play ball. What can I do to get ahead here? So they decide to go to the place, get them to divulge the clues, at which point we discover, oh, those people who kidnapped Brooks, no, those are not our employees. Those are real-life criminals.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Listen, Annie, it's all real.
I know. Brooks is caught up in something and... Okay, where are you guys?
We're all at Brooks's waiting to talk to the cops.
No. Do not talk to the cops.
What? Why? What's going on? Are you guys okay?
Yeah, we're fine. I shot Max, but he's fine.
What?
Look, we will meet you back at our house. Whatever you do not tell the cops anything. Brooks's life depends on it.
The murder mystery has been hijacked by real-life murderers. And that pulls us to one of my favorite moments.
Ryan Seacrest here. When you have a busy schedule, it's important to maximize your downtime. One of the best ways to do that is by going to ChumbaCasino.com. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino games like spin slots, bingo, and solitaire that you can play for free for a chance to redeem some serious prizes. So hop on to ChumbaCasino.com now and live the Chumba life. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Annie and Max track the iPhone to a dingy bar and proceed to pull a gun on all these criminals, thinking they're just actors for the murder mystery company. And that is actually my best scene. I've got so much to say about that.
Okay, so do you want me to wait then?
Yeah, let's wait it out.
Okay.
Let's move on.
After the bar scene, they're driving away, and man, okay, that van catches up to them
Totally unrealistic.
really quick.
Like, what are you, in a Prius? You
No.
can get away from that van.
And he drives like a grandma.
Yeah.
So slowly that there's no way that van would have been able to catch up to them that quickly. Back in the bar, though, I'll kind of preface, Annie shot Max in the arm.
Yes, that happened at the bar.
They give Brooks back to the bad guys, and they know now that a man named the Bulgarian wants Brooks dead, or to get back what he stole.
Which is the egg.
All the while hilarious banter's being exchanged. Like, the entire time, like, the writing is so good
yeah.
that in the middle of all this chaos, there's really good, like, one-liners of just comedic relief throughout that is hilarious.
Yeah, it's also a movie that doesn't feel too long. Like, some movies have a lull in the middle where you're like, okay, how much longer? 30 minutes. Okay, I can live with 30 minutes. This movie, laughing the whole time or engaged the whole time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can I chat about the whole Denzel Washington situation?
Oh, yeah.
With Kevin and Michelle. I don't know if you want to touch on the storyline of that again, like...
You know what? That's my honorable mention. Let's do it right now, though.
Okay.
So the side plot with Kevin and Michelle at Brooks's house, they're playing like a Never Have I Ever game, and someone does a Never Have I Ever slept with a celebrity. And Michelle quietly takes a drink. We're like, whoa, super sus, because Michelle and Kevin been dating since high school. How could she have slept with a celebrity? And this is a running argument for like 45 minutes in this movie. And it comes to its climax when they're looking for the egg. She admits that she slept with Denzel Washington.
Which is hilarious.
And then Kevin...
which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. Denzel Washington, like, very nice. The next part is hilarious.
So then Kevin starts poking some holes in the story. He's like, okay, well, what happened? Well, we went to the club.
Let me ask you this. Did he say he was Denzel?
Well, no. He tried to introduce himself, and I cut him off because I told him I knew who he was.
What kind of car did he drive?
A BMW. 3 Series.
What was his place like?
It was a 2-bedroom condo. And he used the spare room as an office.
Do you hear what you're saying right now?
Hold on, let me...
But he let her buy all the drinks. Wouldn't people at the club be losing their minds? Like, oh my God, Denzel's here. Everybody would want a picture.
100%.
That should be a red
They
flag.
were probably drinking. So, like, she probably was like, oh my God, it's Denzel. Like, she definitely had her beer goggles on.
Not Denzel, honey.
Kevin asks Michelle and says, like, okay, let me see. Do you have a picture?
The picture is great.
Yeah.
So it must be like Denzel's actual stunt double because it looks close enough to him, but it's definitely not Denzel.
No. I thought when I first saw this movie, I was like, oh my God, that's Denzel Washington. Yeah. And then I looked at it and I was kind of like, no, that's not him.
It's just off a little bit.
It is. It's just
It makes you
off.
lean in where you're like, oh, it's not quite.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it was so funny. And he goes, no. And he's totally fine after that. He's like, you know what?
He laughs it off.
Yeah,
He thinks it's hilarious.
If it had been Denzel, like, I guess he would have been pissed, which, I mean, I feel like almost the opposite would happen, right? Like, if it was Denzel, I'd be like, yeah. Like,
good for you.
Good for you.
Really? You'd be cool with that?
No. I'm not saying I'm cool with it. I'm just saying.
Whoa. I do not like this.
In this circumstance, like for them.
Oh, you go, girl, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So they find out the Bulgarian is the one who's after Brooks. And he wants this thing called the egg. We don't really know much about it. It's an egg.
Right.
And it's at Marlon
Freeman's house.
Marlon Freeman's house.
Yeah.
So they're like, sweet, we'll break into Marlon Freeman's house. We're going to get the egg. Turns out to be like a big mansion that's having fight clubs in the basement.
Which is an earlier reference to the beginning of the movie.
That's
when
right.
they talk about how rich people have fight clubs in their basements at their houses during parties.
Well, Ryan brings that up, and Ryan's character is kind of funny. He's kind of like a dimwit, and he mentions that, and people are like, hey, don't believe everything you see in the National Enquirer, Ryan. Like, everything you read isn't real.
Turns out,
so he walks into the basement and he's like, I knew it. There's a fight club thing happening and somebody opens a safe and there's the egg. So he says, sweet, everybody is eyeing up this fight.
Yeah.
I'm just going to walk over and grab the egg. Of which he does.
He does.
And immediately everybody's like, what are you doing?
Who are you?
Who the hell are you?
Me? It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah. Who are you? And what are you doing with my egg?
Oh, I was just admiring it. I got a bunch of these fancy pants eggs back at home in my mansion.
Uh-huh.
This one's ugly.
And then there's the egg chase scene, which was close to my best scene.
Epic.
Really fun part of the movie.
Good.
I actually rewatched it to check. The whole sequence was done in one shot.
It was.
So that means the camera it's just seamlessly following everyone, running back and forth with the egg. The entire thing would have been super choreographed with all these actors, and even the camera people would have to nail like a 60-second shot, start to finish, no cuts.
Yeah.
I always love these. I find them really interesting when they happen, and I try to watch out for them. Like The Witcher, the first episode of The Witcher has a really long one-shot take. Children of Men. There was a scene done in one take, but they were having lots of problems with it, and they were running out of time to shoot at that location. So if you're watching this movie, there's a car attack scene where blood splatters on the camera lens. It was all done in one take, and there wasn't supposed to be blood on the camera lens, but they're like, this is the only shot that we have of the full thing start to finish that actually works. And really, it kind of gives the scene a little bit more something, that there's some blood on the camera lens. They're like, let's leave it in, but it absolutely wasn't supposed to be there. They just kept on screwing up this one shot scene.
Cool.
Yeah. So watch out for that. It's really interesting.
Yeah, that is a great part of and it is a big part of the movie too, right? Like they finally have what they need to get Brooks back.
Yeah, we got it.
Mm-hmm. So they do in fact get Brooks back. They make the exchange, and the kidnappers, when they're exchanging Brooks, don't really kind of grasp the fact that they're looking like that they're going to get this egg. So they kind of make the exchange. They don't ever end up getting this now list that came from inside the egg. It was actually not the egg that anyone was looking for. It was a WITSEC list that was in the egg.
Which is people in
Witness
protective
protection.
custody.
Yeah, witness protection.
Yeah.
Turns out, though, that Gary, the whole game night was put on by him.
Yes, which is a little bit confusing. That was
Totally
a big
confusing.
twist.
Totally confusing.
Because those two criminals, they had a legitimate fight with Brooks. This is the thing, watching it back the second time, I'm like, these two criminals went above and beyond
to get him.
Because apparently Gary hired them just to make a very elaborate murder mystery party, but they were like beating the crap out of Brooks. They were in a fight.
Yeah.
They re-kidnapped him. Like they chased them down. There was a car chase.
Yes, that's right. Yes, he was on the road and they came and they were shooting at Annie and Max.
With blanks.
Total. Oh.
And that was a funny moment where Gary, they explained, they're like, how is this a murder mystery? Max got shot, and Gary explains, he's like, none of my guys had real guns. And Brooks is like, yeah, that's actually my gun because, none of this is a joke. I actually thought the Bulgarian was here to kidnap me. And then on cue,
Surprise.
Michael C. Hall shows up as the Bulgarian.
Yes, we find out all this on the bridge. And the Bulgarian lets them all go, except for Brooks, as he eats the WITSEC list.
What an idiot.
But, the Bulgarian would never let them go because the cops database, like the police database, had a really grainy shot of the Bulgarian with a hat over his face. So, the Bulgarian wouldn't have been able to let them all go.
Okay, so if you're the Bulgarian, you kill everyone.
Well, yeah.
Okay, Cutthroat Sarah's here. Rachel McAdams, you're gone. Jason Bateman, bye everybody.
But if I am the Bulgarian, then yeah.
Right. Gang Lord Sarah is gonna murder everybody.
No. What a weird place to be in.
Just admit
I
it.
don't want to. But they know what I look like now.
They know I'm Sarah, so I gotta kill them.
What a hard place.
Just is what it is.
Rock in a hard place, I'm stuck. Man. The Bulgarian doesn't get the WITSEC list.
Well, so the Bulgarian does say something. He's like, we got to get out of here. We got to go. And Max and Annie, the quintessential trivia kings and queens, they realize there's only one private airstrip airport in the area, so we know exactly where he's got to be. There's an airplane car chase thing.
Yep.
Bad guy gets sucked into an airplane turbine.
Totally.
Another guy gets bashed in the head with a fire hydrant. And moral of the story is Max and Annie save Brooks from the Bulgarian and his goons.
Quick facts.
Let's do it.
The cast members got together before filming to have their own game night as a way to get to know each other and prepare for the film. They played
cute.
Clue and Joking Hazard. I've never played Joking Hazard.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Max and Annie joke about how child actors don't get very far or amount to very much. Jason Bateman was a famous child actor in his roles in Silver Spoons and La Familia Hogan.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. The movie did a few things that reference Quentin Tarantino, including a few lines from Pulp Fiction and Django Unchained. But the movie also includes a scene filmed in one single take, which is what he often does in his movies. You noticed this, and we've already talked about it.
Of course. Loved it.
Yeah, super cool. Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams have starred in another movie together. It was called State of Play, and it was in 2009. Game Night is the second collab together. Jason Bateman was originally supposed to direct the film, but John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein said they would only work on a rewrite of the script if they could direct the movie too. So Jesse Plemons plays a cop in this movie. This is the second movie in which he plays a cop. The first is a 2017 movie called American Made. At the beginning of the movie, you'll recall Max and Annie on the subway making out after meeting at the trivia night. There is a scrolling sign in the background that says, "Don't trust Gary."
What?
Yeah.
Oh my, whoa.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for that.
So they give it away right off the top.
Yeah.
And nobody noticed.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that's so good.
So there are different children's games that are played throughout the film. So I loved this. Annie plays Simon Says while she is in the bar holding the gun to the kidnappers. Hot Potato is played when they're running around the house with the egg. At the airport near the end, Charades is played with Max and Annie to get her to use the conveyor belt.
Yes.
Kevin and Michelle's arguments throughout the movie references Guess Who as he's trying to figure out who it is. And their escape from that room at the beginning when they're locked in is, of course, the game Jenga when he falls off. And finally, while Annie is removing the bullet from Max's arm, it's a reference to the game Operation.
Nice.
Yeah. In the credits, you'll see in Gary's basement the whole plan mapped out of game night. Ryan, who, is not the brightest bulb in the group, he graduated from Harvard University. You'll see his student card on the wall.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. There is a post-credit scene in this movie. This is who Debbie ends up with. After the credits, there is a scene that features Gary's ex-wife Debbie and not Denzel at the gas station. Make sure you check it out.
Oh my God, because I watched that end scene, but I didn't connect that Debbie was Gary's wife.
Yes. Yep.
Oh my God.
So I think that's who she ends up with.
And he even said, he's like, most people cut me off before I say my name.
Yes. So there are a lot of connections to the game Monopoly throughout this movie. They include Gary's dog, Brooks's car, and Brooks buying a property on a boardwalk.
Oh my God. Clever.
So when the kidnappers show up and break into the house, Brooks says, "The game is afoot." This is referencing the movie Sherlock Holmes, which Rachel McAdams starred alongside Robert Downey Jr. There is another reference shortly before this scene where Max and Annie walk into Brooks' rental house and say, "Very nice house, Tony Stark. Should I give my drink order to Jarvis?" Tony Stark is again played by Robert Downey Jr.
Who's Sherlock Holmes?
Yes.
Oh my God.
When Gary hosts the impromptu Jenga game at his house, he's sitting between two guns which are pointed at his head. This is a reference to the fact that in the movie he gets shot twice.
Gary gets shot. Oh, right. One's fake and one's real. Okay.
Yeah. Best scene.
Best scene. It's obviously the bar scene. Max and Annie arrive at this really dingy bar. They realize, okay, this is the place they're keeping Brooks.
They order great drinks, though, by the way.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
They have this idea that bartender, he's an actor for sure. So let's order some really strange drinks. And I think Annie orders like a vodka soda or something ridiculous.
A spritzer of some sort.
Yeah, clearly he can figure out how to make that. But they think all these people are actors. They have no idea they are dealing with real criminals. And if we really want to go through the twists, they're real criminals paid by Gary, regardless, though.
To knock time off of their actual sentences.
Yes, they are real criminals, though. And she pulls a real gun on them, and she swings around on her bar stool and delivers the classic line.
Why, we do? Leave.
Any of you f***ing pricks move and I'll execute every mother f***ing last one of you!
Very nice, honey. Pulp Fiction, anybody? Right? It's a classic. We love
and
films.
I love that Max is in the background being like, Pulp Fiction. Such a classic. But like the comedy here is so amplified because not only do Max and Annie believe that these people are actors, of which they are not, they also believe that the gun they have.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void were prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Isn't even a real gun.
Best part.
So she's like waving it around. She boops one of the criminals on the head with it, and they're like terrified. They're mortified.
Sing it to the mic.
Jesus.
No. She goes round and she goes down on me. F you, Tats. You got something to say? No. Ooh, come here with me. Keep on smiling what we go.
I couldn't stop smiling that whole time. It was so comical.
Oh, it was amazing. And I think that was the moment when I was like, oh, she is fantastic in this movie.
Oh, yeah, she's
like,
great.
She was so good. It was fantastic. It was amazing. It was really, really, really well done.
And this leads to your best scene.
This leads to my best scene. So once they free Brooks tries to explain to them that he is in fact being really kidnapped in real life and that this is all very real. Right. And it was kind of like trying to explain him being a criminal to children.
Look, this is not a game, Max.
Jesus, guys, it's a wrap in here, okay? Show's over.
Listen, I'm not a venture capitalist. I'm a smuggler.
A smuggler?
Yeah, I made a mistake. I sold the Bulgarian's egg to a different guy, and I have to get it back to him, or he's gonna kill me.
The Bulgarian's egg? Wasn't that the third Harry Potter book?
Wait, I'm confused. So this isn't the end of this
they
whole
were
thing?
just so
it is the
perplexed,
end, okay?
and they couldn't believe that all of that was actually happening for real.
Until the gun goes off and Annie's like, oh my God.
The gun goes off and Annie shoots Max in the arm. It starts bleeding and then they realize, oh my God, this is real life. And so then they take Brooks, they leave. Brooks ends up getting thrown out of the car and goes and stays with the bad guys. But Annie and Max needs to sort out the most imminent problem being which Max
Max
got
is
shot
bleeding
in.
out, yeah.
Yes. So they go to some alleyway. They stop at a corner store, grab everything that they need. Wine, which is definitely not a good sanitizer. However,
I think it was a Chardonnay, to be exact.
I think it was, yeah. And that entire scene was so well written, and it was so well done. Just Annie and Max, Rachel McAdams and Jason Bateman, just feeding off of each other for the comedic relief, and the lines were just so well done.
You love the camaraderie between the two of them as well.
I do. The chemistry is just, it was very well done. That is definitely my best scene for sure. I just appreciated it. Turns out that she does the whole cut in his arm.
Oh yeah, she cuts his arm to open up the hole so that they can get the bullet out.
Tries to find it, and it turns out that it's just bone, and she keeps knocking on it.
Oh God.
Yeah. And he has a squeaky thing in his mouth.
How did they not check to see if there's 2 bullet holes? Wouldn't you be bleeding out of both sides of your arm?
If someone doesn't do this on the regular, like, it wouldn't be your first instinct to like look for
It would absolutely be my first instinct.
Well, it would
wow,
probably...
there's 2 holes. There's a hole here, and I'm bleeding out of both sides of my arm.
No, that's a very good point. I agree with you, but I'm saying they didn't do that. It was so good, though. Oh my God!
So she just cut him up for
she
the sake
cuts
of
him
cutting him up.
Hits bone, realizes the bullet. There's another exit wound, or that there is an exit wound, and that in fact there is no bullet, and they can stitch him up. I guess. I think they just band him
Yeah, they just bandaged him up because he was bleeding a lot.
Which, like, let's be honest, that cut that she made is definitely stitch worthy.
Honorable mentions. I already did mine.
Yes, you did. Okay, so I'll go through mine quick. Let's touch on some of the characters in this movie because, like we both said, the cast was phenomenal. So we have Lamorne Morris, who plays Kevin in the movie. He was also in New Girl, the TV show.
Winston.
He was Winston. He kind of had some Winston vibes in this movie, too.
Definitely,
His delivery is really Winston-y. If you haven't seen New Girl, it's awesome. He is great in this movie. His jealousy over his wife's sex life while they're on a break, only to find out that it was a Denzel Washington lookalike, is just icing on the cake. It's a phenomenal storyline. It's a low-key storyline, but it is so good. So Sharon Horgan plays Sarah in the movie, the Irish coworker of Ryan.
We don't really know much about her.
Yeah, we don't
even know where they work.
No. So she is Ryan's date for the evening, which is hilariously funny because her dry wit and her delivery and her ability to just shut Ryan down throughout the movie is so amazing.
Well, he's an idiot, and she doesn't take any of his stupidness. She'll just call him out right away, like, that was kind of dumb.
And like, side note, you'll see in the beginning of the movie, like, multiple game nights, he ends up bringing a specific type of
Instagram model
to the game nights, and he loses.
Guys, this is Madison.
Yeah, you brought her last week. You work at Forever 21, right?
No.
I work at Sephora. I'm confused.
Different girl. Same look, same voice.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Right?
Where'd you find her? TED Talk?
No, at Chipotle.
Let me ask you something, Ryan. Aren't you sick of losing game night every week because of the dates you bring?
They're not always that bad.
So that week, he decides, I'm going to bring somebody who is not an Instagram model, who is very intellectually smart and can possibly help me win the entire game night. I wish there was more of her in the movie because she was so great.
She was really good.
Of course, Ryan. He's just such a nice guy, you know? But like I said, he's not the brightest bulb, but he really does pull that character off.
He's kind of like the puppy dog, where it's like he has good intentions, he means well, he's very excitable. But he's kind of stupid.
You nailed it. He's very excitable. He is a puppy dog. He's like, oh my God,
he does the shake that dogs do when their butt wiggles. Yeah.
Yes, and
that's
he goes
him.
right across, grabs the egg out of the vault, and doesn't think to move after it. Like, doesn't think to hide, you know? He just stands there looking at it.
He's very impressed with himself that he got
Very
the
much.
egg, you know?
Yes. Kind of like a dog with bone, you know?
Yeah.
Jesse Plemons, I think he nailed his character of Gary. His ability to appear out of nowhere, his odd social interactions, his monotone voice, icing on the cake for me. And delivered some really big laughs for me.
Yes, he was uncomfortable in a special way that
Totally.
really, the comedy hit really well.
Yeah. And then, of course, last but not least, we have Max and Annie. They have great chemistry, like I said before. I love both these actors in general. Thought they really hit it off in this movie. I hope that they do more movies in the future. You have Max, who's uptight, Annie, who's a bit wackier. They delivered on some really seriously funny moments.
So your honorable mentions are literally everybody.
Yeah. But it was like the characters.
Yes, okay.
Because we talked about how great we loved them.
The characters except for...
Is that okay?
Except for the Bulgarian. Michael C. Hall getting no love.
Well, he's in the movie for like 5 minutes. He doesn't get an honorable mention.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Michael C. Hall.
Next time.
What should have beens?
I have no what should have beens.
This movie should hopefully inspire us to do more with Rachel McAdams.
Oh, okay.
I
like
see
it.
her kind of like an Emma Stone. Like, she's classically good looking, but she's also extremely funny.
Mhm.
Both great actresses.
Yeah.
They both have kind of like an ambiance of just like you kind of want to be around them. So, like, where is Rachel's La La Land? Like, I guess it was The Notebook. They had Ryan Gosling,
Yes,
whatever.
100%. That was like her La La Land. I think The Notebook is a beyond classic that will stand the test of time.
But I mean, like, I think she peaked around them and like at Wedding Crashers, because you look at what she's done over the past 8 years or so. Like, literally no massive movie aside from this. There was About Time, which is a really strong romantic comedy that I hope we can get to at some point.
It was more of a romance. Like, she
was
did
more
a
of a
lot
romance.
of romantic movies for a good while, and then she tried to break out with True Detective.
Oh, was she on
and
True
that
Detective?
season didn't really kind of catch, which was unfortunate. And yeah, she's been in a few things here and there. I mean, she was fantastic as Regina George in Mean Girls.
Yeah, but that was like 15 years ago at this point.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
What happened to her?
Maybe it's
Where are you?
Maybe it's her choice, like to pick and choose
Could
what she
be.
wants to do.
I mean, she was in that that Eurovision thing with Will Ferrell on
Oh my
Netflix.
God. Yes, last year. And you know what? I
Yeah.
never saw it.
I never saw
was
it either.
COVID.
Wasn't really my cup of tea, to be quite honest.
I kind of want to watch
But
it.
like, that's one of the few things that she's started. Like, I've been racking my brain, and I thought Midnight in Paris, that was a good movie. Owen
Yeah.
Wilson, that was 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Where's she been?
Yeah.
You're right. It might be her choice, but
She
Rachel,
is fantastic.
Rachel, if you're listening, if you're a friend of the pod, first off, thank you. Second off, I can be your agent. Let me get you some good
Oh my
roles, okay? Because I think you can do more. If you're comfortable with that.
You're hilarious.
Thirst Factor. This is a weird movie to do Thirst Factor for.
Yeah, it is.
Jason Bateman.
I actually really like Jason Bateman. I'd say like an 8. I love him.
Well, I mean, if we're going with Arrested Development, I just
oh my
like.
God, Arrested Development.
I'm never not going to like the guy because of that show. You know?
Yeah, it's true. But you know what? I do love him in everything he does. Yeah.
Okay, let's do
Rachel McAdams.
like a 9. She's really.
Oh, I'd say like a 9.5.
Yeah, she's.
Yeah, I'd say.
She seems like
I'd
such a
almost say,
sweet
like, a 10.
soul. Yeah, she just
She's a 10.
seems like. I just want to be your friend. I want to hang out.
I think I would. I'd like to hang out with her. You know?
I mean, I just professed my love for being her talent agent, so
Yeah, if you're-
I would like
if
to be her
you're-
employee. Apparently,
If she's not a 10 for you,
I would like you to hire me. Yeah, 10 for sure. And rewatchability.
9.2.
Oh, see, I would give it. I had it down as a 9, but here's the thing: it's a digressing 9, meaning the first time you watch it, great. Second time you watch it, a 9. But after you know the twists,
right?
I think it's slowly, 8.7, 8.5. Maybe leave it for a few years and
So
come
not-
back, and then it comes back to a 9 because it'll surprise you a little bit.
Right. Not huge drops, just little drops.
No, just little tiny
Every time you
drops.
see it.
I think you should watch it. I think you should watch it twice. Just because once you know the twist, you go back to it and you notice things that you didn't notice before.
Yes, you do.
And then after that, leave it for a little bit of time. So this is the Rom-Com Rewind of Game Nights. Make sure you follow us on Spotify if that is where you're listening right now. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram at Romcom Rewind, and send us a message if you have any thoughts and opinions about our show. We would love to hear them. And as well, on the way, we got The Proposal coming up. Ooh, some Ryan Reynolds, some Sandra Bullock.
Sandy.
Always Be My Maybe, Leap Year. I think we're going to try to squeeze in the new P.S. I Love You as well. That's coming out February 12th. And yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.